Okay. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Oh,
All right, all right. Would you rather call you Troll God, Sean Carlos, Petty? You got more aliases than me.
the Troll God, man. Let's keep it group related, man.
All right, Troll God. All right, you can hear me good.
Yeah, bro. I said, well, yeah, I'm gonna make an announcement as soon as we go live. Yeah, I'm dropping
Oh, we
Troll
we
God, Mr. 10 and One,
we
Mr.
live.
10 and One. We
Oh, we
live?
live. Yeah, we live already. Just talk your noise.
Man,
Talk your
man,
noise.
before we go, just watch, man. My watch tripping. For some reason, it's stuck on 10 and One. You know what
now,
I'm saying?
now explain to everybody what 10-1 means, though.
Well, if they've been keeping up with the live podcast, we did picks starting with the Memphis and Golden State play-in game, and then we did picks on each first round series, who we thought would win and who we thought would win the first game. We actually we started doing picks before the first two playing games, which was what, that Washington, Indiana, and Charlotte game. Well,
Uh huh.
dating back to the play-in game predictions and the game one predictions. I am currently leading the podcast group with a 10-1 record. My dark horse at the Atlanta Hawks killed my dream with a last second floater, and I started to call Atlanta game 1-2 with Trey Young with a last second shot. Because it seems like most of the home teams went down 0-1. If I'm
Okay.
right.
Okay, so let's start off with this series first that you called. I'm gonna give you your props. You called this series, and a lot of people in the world they didn't see this coming. Dallas Mavericks won the first two games in Los Angeles. Do you see the Clippers? Do the Clippers have a chance to win this series?
No, if they had a chance to win the series, I would have predicted them to win. They caught hell. They caught hell last year versus the Mavericks with only Luka being a consistent scorer. And he showed he could come up in clutch situations. Let's not forget the game winner last series. That step back. A whole lot of balls were shocked on that one. I believe they could have pulled it off had Porzingis not been injured. And you probably thought the same yourself. But like I said,
Man,
as far as the Clippers, you're only as good as your last performance, man. How many superstar loaded teams we've seen have actually made decent runs into the playoffs? All got knocked off by a team with just more chemistry and more coherence.
but how many superstar players does the Clippers have though? Because I only
Okay,
see
yeah,
one.
we on that. We on that. Let me retract that statement because we've been going back and forth about this superstar debate.
All right.
They got one superstar, couple potential rising stars. You got Kawhi Leonard as a superstar, man, and won two Finals MVPs, two chips with two different teams. If that ain't a superstar, I don't know what is.
Yeah,
And then
Kawhi.
you got
I
yeah,
definitely
Kawhi.
got. Yeah, I got Kawhi as a superstar.
Yeah,
I,
so yeah, you got him. Then you got Paul George. You got your Rondo. Uh, who else they got on that team?
uh, Nick
They keep
Batum.
it
Nick Batum. They got Zubac. They got Pat Beverly. They got Serge
good,
Ibaka.
good role players. Good role players.
Uh,
Ibaka's star. He I wouldn't say superstar potential. He's still on that star level. He done showed up in the playoffs, got a good resume as far as his position and his career. So yeah, you got to say he's a star because he's shown up in the playoffs and proven himself when necessary. And he also has that chip with Claw in Toronto. So yeah, he's a star. He ain't reached superstar status yet. I don't know if he ever will, but he's a definite star. But with that being said, as far as the Clippers, man, they got a whole bunch of talent with no chemistry.
Yeah, I mean, but the reason I said this on the last podcast, the reason why I picked the Clippers because I thought they was gonna be hungry, and the reason why I thought they was gonna be hungry because what happened to them last year, like. But I think I heard this on another podcast. Somebody said the Clippers, or either I heard on a podcast or I heard Nick Wright said the Clippers went into the playoffs with their bench and role players not full of confidence. And the reason they wasn't full of confidence was because they lost those last two games. Because
Here's a blatantly obvious point that people will overlook
Mhm.
and not factor into the win loss equation. This is where I excel as far as my picks. A lot of people base their picks based off stats, career records, numbers, black and white. They never figure in the intangibles. How long a team is playing, how healthy they are, how fresh their legs are after running. All that stuff that we don't talk about or doesn't show up on a stat chart. You have to figure all that shit in, which is why I picked Memphis. You can't. First off, Steph Curry and them, their legs was already wobbly from battling LeBron them 2 nights prior. And
Mhm.
after Steph got his soul took with that 3-pointer, he was still mentally you could see he was there. His physical ability was there. Even if his mind not in the game, Steph will still give you 30 to 40. But that's why I picked Memphis to go over them. But now, like I was saying, back to the Clippers and the Mavs, where the Clippers are the weakest at is where the Mavs are the strongest. Name one point guard on that Clippers team that could hold Luka for a solid 3 quarters out of 4.
Well, we don't. I don't think anybody in the NBA could hold Luca for a solid quarters. What the mistake
That's true,
was,
but with that being said, all the Clippers point guards are undersized and undermanned.
but that's the
Can't
thing.
they can't Bear, Rondo, all the can't there one of them hold Luka 1-on-1?
That,
Combined, they can't hold Luka for a whole game, and that's their weakest point. Shooting guards or Clippers, they got Reggie Jackson, all them small forward. You got Kawhi, you got Paul George, then you got Morris and all them in the paint. Their weakest position out of the starting five is the point guard, and that's where Dallas excels. That's their strongest point. They point guard.
I
That
mean,
Luka is the heart and soul of their offense. Luka will abuse Bev and Rondo all goddamn game. And they can't offensively match up. If Luka gets hot and it just starts going in the zone, you don't have a point guard that can go shot for shot with Luka on the Clippers team.
so do you think Kawhi should take the challenge? Your team down 0-2. The next game in Dallas. Hey, shout out to Antonio Brown. If Dallas make it to the second round, me and Antonio Brown, we're going to a second round playoff game. So shout
Well,
out to
go ahead and
Antonio
order
Brown.
your tickets, dude. Go
Huh?
ahead and
What's
order
up?
your tickets.
Go ahead,
Go
order.
ahead and order your tickets.
Well, anyway, Clippers down 0-2. This remind me of the Bulls in Seattle series. See when Seattle was down 3-0, Gary Payton went up to George Karl. He's like, man, look, we ain't got nowhere else to go. Let me just guard Jordan. Let's see what happens. Worst thing happen, we lose again. Let me just guard Jordan. Gary Payton ended up guarding Jordan, held Jordan to his lowest finals totals in his whole career, Gary Payton. So I think before the Clippers get down 0-3, Kawhi need to go up to Ty Lue and be like, man, look, let me be on Luca full time. If that takes away from my offensive game, that's why we're paying PG the big bucks. That's why we're
That
paying
would work.
PG.
That would work if Luka was the only one scoring over 20 points. Hardaway had a fire game last game. And then you
Yeah,
had Finney Smith and Porzingis contributing too. I mean,
yeah.
you could double team or put your best defender on Luka if everybody else contributing 10 to 15 points.
No,
Luka don't have to do that much. If you
that's what
if
I'm
you
saying. Hey,
concentrate on
you
somebody gonna get
rather
open, and them boys coming off some of them coming off their playoff best.
you
I
rather
know that
get
that's
beat.
probably
You
Hardaway's
rather
best
get
best best playoff performance.
let those role players beat you. If that's you live with that. That's something that you live with. What you can't live with, you can't live with Luca getting 40, 10, and 10. Like you can't live with that. If it takes Tim Hardaway getting 25 again, Porzingis getting 25 and 10, if it takes that for them to win, then that's how you lose. But you cannot lose by Luka averaging 40 for the series. You can't you can't lose like that.
They're not gonna once they lose a series, they ain't gonna be just basically ain't gonna be based on Luka dominating the team. You got other role players that's coming off. See, like I say, playoff career playoff best, and what Hardaway had? Hardaway had damn near 30, didn't he? He had like what 27, 28.
Yeah, Hardaway got hot. He like 28, I think. He
Yeah.
got hot.
So yeah,
That dude got hot.
you could concentrate double team scheme for Luka all day if the other players on the team are hitting. That focus on Luka shit is not gonna work. It's like I say, basketball is a 5-on-5, not a 1-on-5.
Hey, we got a special guest, man. Legend Wilkerson. Welcome, Legend Wilkerson, to the podcast.
We are not perfect.
What it do, baby? What it do? What it do?
Welcome, Legend Wilkerson, to the podcast.
Big legend in the building, man. Big legend in the
What's going
building.
on, bro? What's going on, big dog?
What it do?
Hey, Wilk, we were just talking about the Dallas and Clippers series. You want to go and give us your intel on that series about what's going on so far?
Luka a bad man. I mean, I don't know what else needs to be said. Luka is a bad man. Whenever Paul George and Kawhi came together with the Clippers, all you heard was, man, this is gonna be one of the best perimeter defensive teams you've ever seen with Patrick Beverley and those two guys. And Luka got them all in the pot. I'm talking about big gumbo pot, cooking them up, slow cooking them.
That's not take away from their defense. Their defense is cold. But they say it's gonna be one of the best defensive Clippers teams. But what about offenses? Who else is a consistent scorer besides Kawhi Leonard and sometimes Paul George?
Hey, and I think my cousin brought up a great point. That's Justo Brown in the group. He said he noticed how Kawhi Leonard was losing some lateral movement and stuff like that because of the knees and stuff, man. And Kawhi really doesn't look like an elite defender like he used to, though. Like getting down in the squat and all that. And Luka taking it to them boys, man.
Hey,
as far as Kawhi not looking like he used to, y'all think them surgeries and them injuries in San Antonio had anything to do with that? When them boys thought he was just like load managing, and when he got a second opinion as far as his injury, you think any of that plays into his lateral movement and his physical ability now?
Probably, because you don't want the same thing to happen to him what happened to Brandon Roy.
Right.
So yeah, I think Kawhi did the smart thing with load managing and all that. But hey, Will, I was just talking to Troll God about Kawhi going up to Ty Lue, similar to how Gary Payton went up to George Karl when the Sonics was down 3-0. He went up to George Karl. He'd be like, "Hey man, I need to guard Jordan. We need to do something because Jordan is killing us." So
right.
So the game 4, I'm a guard Jordan, and Seattle ended up winning the next 2 games. Of course, they lost game 6 when they went to Chicago, but they still avoided getting swept. So I was telling Troll God, it's time for Kawhi Leonard to go to Ty Lue and be like, "Hey, put me on Luka full time. If that takes away from my offense, that's what we got Paul George for. But I need to be on Luka full time if we got a chance of winning this series."
Right. What you got Paul George for? Come on, man. Playoff Pete.
Hey,
the same dude that was ass last year playoffs had a spectacular regular season and then doing the same thing in the playoffs again.
Hey, look,
we have this argument all the time. We have this argument all the time in the group about top tier players. We can have all these phenomenal regular season stats in black and white, but if you ain't doing shit in the playoffs, then
but look, I
average top tier player.
I understand what you're saying, but the Clippers just paid this man a shitload of money. So he need to be dependent on do something. The Clippers just paid him a whole lot of money. Extension.
The problem I see, man, is you don't have nobody else. I'm trying to think on the top of my head, man, but you don't have anybody else on that team who can create their own shot other than those 2 guys. And those are also your 2 best defenders. So it's hard for them to play. It's hard for the boys to play both sides of the ball at an elite level for the whole game. And I think that's what the biggest issue is. You got rid of Like the guys, you remember when the Clippers were this up-and-coming team when they had Gallinari, Lou Will, and the boys just competed with Montrezl Harrell? Well, you got rid of all these guys. You don't have anybody else that can create a shot outside of Paul George and Kawhi, and then you rely on these guys to try to go lock up a Luka Doncic and a Tim Hardaway Jr. on the other end. That's hard to play both sides of the ball at an elite level all game when you're the primary ball handler. Because Rondo really not cutting it right now.
No,
Yeah,
I just
I was gonna bring that point up too. You'll get out my head. They don't have a decent shot creator, a player that can dribble and create space on his own without screening, without help and all that other stuff. That's another thing they missing.
Hey, Chris, you got a little feedback going on in your background.
Yeah, turn that Kevin Gates down, blow.
Hey, I want to get into this next series. I'm watching the game behind me right now, bro.
Oh, I could barely hear you with that feedback in the background.
That's Chris feedback. Hey, I want to get into this next series. I'm looking at the game behind me, bro. It's looking bad, bro. It's looking bad.
Which one?
Milwaukee and Miami.
The game is on right now?
It's on right now.
Who winning?
Milwaukee winning by 17, bro.
They gonna sweep the ball.
I'm gonna look like I'm more than likely to take an L on that series, but at least that make me look human. Boys can't say we was stacking the deck.
Man, bro.
You got a good run going right now, but I didn't expect Milwaukee to come out and put them boys in a body bag like that. But I did say it. We can run the tape. I did say that although I was called the Heat last year, I didn't feel it this year. And I felt like this was a momentous moment for Giannis Antetokounmpo because Drew Holiday came in. So what was happening was they were building a wall for Giannis, and Chris Middleton was having to become a playmaker and create his own shot. Well, now when you bring Drew Holiday in, Chris Middleton can keep that same role. He can just create his own shot, not having to set everybody else up because Drew Holiday can take over the primary ball handling duties. And we're seeing the difference with Drew Holiday right now. And look, I want to say one more thing. Can you imagine how great this Milwaukee Bucks team would have been if they would have got Bogdanovich instead of Bogdan coming to the Hawks?
Hey, y'all, that was the last two.
Shout out to Middleton too, man. Middleton is stepping up, man. He's like this close to being an all-star.
He'll hoop, bro. He'll hoop for real.
Hey, I think I said the Bucks will win in 7, but I didn't see this coming because it is looking like a sweep. But the person like Jimmy Butler, it seemed like he took a step back. Like I don't know if he benefited from the bubble. I don't know if Tyler Hero benefited from the bubble. But Miami got to do something, bro, because this embarrassing, bro. Like I'm
gonna take a quick second and shout out Gary Johnson, RIP Max Echelon. But anyway, he gonna talk his poop Saturday about Miami, especially if they get blown out tonight. But I was gonna bring up something when we was discussing Miami and Milwaukee in that last podcast. He brought up a great point. They don't have that stretch four to complement Adebayo in the paint. They have shooters and Adebayo. If the shooter's not on, who's helping Adebayo rebound?
Good point.
Yeah. And Gary Johnson, I was gonna bring it up, but I want to let everybody say something. He brought it up before I could bring. That's Miami is missing that stretch four, post playmaker four, or some kind of hot post presence power forward to complement Adebayo.
Hey, tell the audience why it's RIP Max. Tell the audience why it's RIP Max.
Oh, that's for long. So you have to go back. You have to go back into the post, the back and forth banter and stuff. Man, took shots at the guard, man. You take shots at the guard, don't miss.
Hey, we'd like to welcome Chris Donato to the podcast. What's up, Chris?
Oh, what's happening, Blue?
What's happening? Y'all hear me better? No feedback?
No feedback.
Yeah. Congratulations on the graduate, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, Chris. Hey, shout out to you, man. Chris, a cool dude. Been busting Chris head and Madden for years.
Wow. The
Hey,
shade.
don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype, man. Don't believe the hype, man.
Hey, right?
I've got my head bust, but I've given my share of whippings too.
Hey, you have.
I'm still waiting for Will to jump on this 2K21 and come get this work, man.
I don't know these problems we want, Cutting.
And I need some help, man. Boys don't even want to play me no more, man. They didn't consider me an op on the park. My live thread is dunking on everything.
Hey, so Chris, well, I'm gonna ask you about both of the series we talked about. I want to catch up. At first, we talked about the Dallas and the Clippers series. What's your thoughts on that series so far?
I think I caught a little bit of it. I think we make too many excuses for the Clippers. Last year, the Clippers were supposed to be the team to beat the Lakers. And then when they didn't, it was, oh, they need this. Oh, they need that. Oh, they need this. You got everything you need there. You have three of the best perimeter defenders in the league, and you still can't stop one person. You're having to switch and switch and switch, and then you're leaving these guys wide open. That's why they beat them shooting the three, wide open threes. I think it was Shannon said they had like 10 threes where nobody was within 6 feet of them. So them practice shots. You can't win giving guys practice shots. I do think they need to play Rondo more. Reggie Jackson and Patrick Beverly shouldn't be starting over Rondo. Rondo should be getting 30 minutes. Playoff Rondo, it's a real thing. Let him get in there and work. On the other side, Luka is just in his bag right now. And when you let somebody get confidence like that, it's hard to stop that. And he feels like it's nothing they can really do with him. He talks noise to everybody. Patrick Beverly too small, Kawhi too slow. And
What I told you, July.
He talking that poop, man.
Baby.
You know.
His weakest point is Dallas' strong point. They ain't got a point guard that could defend Luka.
That's what I was saying. So why not? Like I said, Kawhi need to go. Kawhi need to go.
Last game.
Hey,
if you concentrate on Luka and other people hitting threes, it's over.
No. Like I said, as a team, you rather get beat by your role players than a star player. The coach is going to tell you that you rather get beat by the role players than a star player. So I'm saying Kawhi need to go to Ty Lue, put me on Luka full time. Like Chris just said, put Rondo on the starting lineup to take care of the ball duties. And your boy Luke Kennard, I seen a funny meme about him earlier today. Man getting paid $64 million, ain't played 1 minute in the playoffs yet.
But why instead of having Kawhi switch on Luka, why if Reggie Jackson starting that shooting guard, right? Why not switch him over to Luka and get a taller defender on him and put Patrick Beverly on the two?
Too small. Reggie Jackson's too small. Reggie Jackson's 6'3".
He said Reggie's too small, but he's taller than Pete Bev and Rondo. Them all the things compared to Luka. Luka will shoot over them all day. They can play the best defense, and Luka will fire their ass up.
Reggie Jackson number 6'2".
Exactly. He's gonna do the same thing.
What is Pete Bev? 5'11" and some change?
Patrick Beverly 6'1".
Patrick Beverly not no goddamn 6'1", man. That's the NBA life.
That's his hair making him 6'1".
That man don't even come up to Luka's shoulder.
All right, Chris. So I want to get your opinion on the playoff, on the game that's happening now and the series that's going on right now. The Bucks and the Heat. Right now, the Bucks are currently beating them by 13 points.
I think the Bucks learned a lot from the whipping they took last year.
And the year before.
At the hands of the Heat. Yeah. I think they learned a lot. Drew Holiday is playing real good ball. What's my man from the Rockets? PJ Tucker is looking like a valid pickup. But I also agree with what my man said. They don't have nobody to help Bam down at the bottom. If Bam gets in any type of foul trouble, you can cancel it. Giannis is going to the rim and having a field day. And it's not going to be pretty. So what they need to do is, what Miami needs to do is they're going to have to shoot the lights out. They're going to have to do what Dallas is doing to the Clippers. They got to shoot the lights out. Butler has to take it upon himself to do what he did last year. Like, just put his head down, get to the rim, and if you got 10 points and 12 assists, then your team's probably going to win because that means Tyler Hero is making shots. That means Logic is making shots. That's gonna open up things for Bam Adebayo to crash the offensive glass. But if they don't start making shots and helping on the boards, yeah, this might be a quick series.
Hey, Chris, I'm gonna go ahead and say this too. When he picked up Trevor Ariza, a lot of people went crazy and was like, man, that's a good pickup. I'm gonna be honest with you. Ariza ain't never been good to me.
That man been on every team in the NBA.
That man, people like, man, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Man, that man straight. Like, and Iguodala ain't giving them Nathan. He's giving them Nathaniel. Nathan. He ain't doing nothing out there. Like nothing.
And Chris brought up something I didn't figure into my picks. I forgot that the Bucks picked up PJ Tucker, so they got a good stretch forward with Giannis down there now. I completely forgot about all that.
Hey, but you're sleeping on my bad, Chris. I ain't mean to jump in, but Portis is a great power forward coming off the bench, man. So they got people, they got bodies that they throwing out there. And Miami coming with Dwayne Dedmon.
Who else they got on the bench to compliment Adebayo? They got rid of Olynyk. That was pretty much the best thing they had to power forward.
Troll guy Shane said Troll guy just be talking sometimes. That's what
everybody got something to say, man. If I ain't got at least 10 to 15 haters a week, I ain't doing my job. It's lonely at the top. I can't hear you boys down there. Get on the podcast. Come out at me.
Hey Shane, you heard Troll guy. He said, "Come on the podcast. Come get that work." All right, so I
will say Ariza was a good pickup. When you look at it, he's 3-and-D. So if he's hitting a jump shot, then it's a good pickup. But when you let Kelly Olynyk go, you kind of hurt your size. You know, Dwayne Dedmon, he is what he is. He's been on probably every team in the NBA as well. The Hawks shipped him out. Like, we don't need you no more, player. Go on about your business, you know? So they got a lot of journeymen. They expected the formula that worked last year to work again. But you can't continue to do things over and over when everybody around you is upgrading. You needed to make some serious upgrades yourself.
I'll challenge you on this though. I think Trevor Ariza's past as a 3-and-D guy followed him to Miami. I don't think he's a great defender anymore. I think they're trying to use Trevor Ariza in that role that Jay Crowder played. He's not the defender that Jay Crowder is. And Jay Crowder really a sniper now. Like, it's really crazy. And Ariza's not that guy anymore, though. He never was to me. But he did have some decent years where he put up like 11 points a game, played good deep. He can't play defense no more. He can't move.
So Blow, we're in agreement.
I agree, but he's the enforcer.
So Blow, we're in agreement that Miami getting rid of Olynyk was a bad move, right? As far as not having any help out of Bio.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I was just asking because see, boys like Shane say I just be talking. You know what I'm saying? They can't say y'all just be talking if we both in agreement. So I was just checking. But carry on.
But I'm saying, like, they don't have any other bigs. Like Kelly Olynyk, he fit the profile as a stretch dude. Like he can hit the outside shot, you know, and he's tough. That's one thing. I mean, I know he got the long hair and his name Kelly. The man tough though. Like he was a part of that Isaiah Thomas Boston team, if people remember. So he was a part of that team with Jay Crowder, Marcus Smart, Isaiah Thomas. He tough. He a tough dude. And he fit that Miami Heat culture with Jimmy Butler being there. And he was able to stretch the floor. So now you're missing that as a big man to go along with Adebayo, but also Goran Dragic has taken a step back. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Butler is the only person that can really create for others on that roster because Tyler Hero is not that guy that he was in the bubble. I think people saw the run that they made last year, and we expected that this year just because, you know, Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, man, we used to the Heat just being there, man. The Heat, it ain't it, cuz.
that's on Spo. Spo had all that success last year with the shooters in the playoffs and decided to go small ball this year and got rid of his power forward. They relied on the shooters to make big shots, and Adebayo not need no help if his shooters hitting. But when them boys not hitting, just like my old Rockets, they'll either shoot you in the game or shoot you completely out of it.
Well, you last year you could play Jay Crowder as a small ball forward. I don't think you can do that with Ariza because I don't think Ariza is physical enough. So that was able to help them out a lot last year because Jay Crowder is something like an enforcer. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a pit bull out there on the court, man. and I think they're missing it. Like Jimmy Butler can't be your only pit out there.
That small ball is based on running gun, getting up and out quickly. Ariza old, man. His knees ain't what they used to be.
But
He don't fit a small ball team to me.
You can't really go out and say I'm finna run Milwaukee because at your power forward you got one of the most athletic guys out there at Giannis. So you can't really say you're gonna go out there and run them out the gym because he can run with the best of them, especially when you talk about full court.
Right.
So they really needed to, like last year they were hitting shots. Tyler Hero was a different player last year than he is this year. It looks like he regressed. Now he still has been a serviceable player, but he hadn't been the same guy he was last year in the playoffs.
Right.
Last year in the playoffs, he was rolling his lips up at guys. Like he was giving people the Luka treatment. Y'all can't guard me.
Right.
Last year in the playoffs, didn't have a scout report on him.
Okay, so check this out. I think the only person that has took a step forward on Miami is Duncan Robinson.
I don't know though. I think Duncan Robinson is who he was last year, and he can't defend nobody.
Well, look, taking a step forward for Miami is not taking a step back. So he the same.
I'll give you that.
All right,
the only person that looked like they've taken a step forward for Miami, in my opinion, is Kendrick Nunn. Because he wasn't getting no burn last year.
You're right. You're right. Hey, some games he wasn't getting.
Last year, Kendrick Nunn started before he got hurt.
Yeah.
And then
he got out of the rotation.
He got out of the rotation. But if you go back and look, he played big minutes in the Eastern Conference Finals and in the finals. He made big shots against the Lakers in the games that they won. But he does look like he should be a part of their long-term plan. Will he? Right. That's where the issue comes because now you got Dragic, you got Nunn, and you got Tyler Hero, who really all gonna try to occupy the same space. None of them is really a pure point guard. They're really two guards, but some of them are just too small to play that position. So you really don't have nobody to run your team unless you're running it through Jimmy Butler. And if you run it through him out the entire game, you wear him out.
He gonna be leaning over the little counter again, like looking like a mechanic, man.
Hey, let's talk. Let's go into the next game that's coming on tonight. Let's talk about the Lakers and the Suns. I'm gonna start with you on this one first, Troll God. What you think of that series so far, and where you think that series going?
Series that I expected. I expected Phoenix to come out and get game one as usual. Lakers been doing this for years. Well, as long as LeBron has been in the playoffs with them, they've been doing this. Lose the first game of the series, make adjustments, get video, and get a basic idea of how the team they're playing go attack them. Then they come back and win the next four out of the next five. So, and this is the first actual playoff, not playing playoff game at home for the Lakers. So, let's get it. LeBron and boys. This pretty much a wrap.
Yeah,
where they lacking at though, AD. He's not showing me that mental toughness. I guess he got complacent with last year's run, figuring it was gonna just get handed to him like last year. And he just don't have that mental toughness that he needs yet. That was very evident in that Golden State game where Draymond just bullied the fuck out of him. You got the AD that'll cut post and go to the goal, and then you got the AD that'll shoot jumpers 3 out of 4 quarters.
I mean, I agree with you. I picked the Lakers in 6. I still think they're gonna win in 6 though. I think the Suns take this game tonight, and then the Lakers win 3 in a row. Yeah, that's what I think. I think the Lakers. I think they just gonna win 3 in a row. I just don't. I think AD. I'm waiting for AD to be that AD from last year, to be that AD against us last year against Portland. That we didn't, all them bigs that we had, we still couldn't stop AD. So I'm not understanding, why AD he rather shoot he did hit a big 3 the other night, but it took a lot of shot attempts, a lot of 3-point shot attempts to finally hit that big 3. I'm just waiting for AD, to get. I'm waiting on one of them 35-17 games, I guess. I think he gonna.
Well,
AD got
to get out of that point guard mentality. You damn near 7 footer and a stretch 4. ain't too many power forwards in the league that can block his shot. Why are you shooting jumpers? Get in the paint, get post up, get somebody in foul trouble, and create some space for yourself. Don't just come out shooting jumpers.
Well,
You telling everybody you're not planning on doing no banging, no physical post play at all. Period. They know how to adjust to you from there. Hey, you gotta get some more.
This the problem, man. And we all saw it last year. In certain series, you did not see Dwight Howard or JaVale McGee play because they were playing Anthony Davis primarily at the 5 based on matchups. When Anthony Davis is at power forward, that means you either have Marc Gasol, Montrezl Harrell, or what the big penguin, what the boy name is?
Drummond.
Drummond. You either got Drummond in the game at the 5. If you got those guys in the game at the 5, they got to go to what they call the dunker spot, right? Which means you got a guy waiting at the rim for LeBron, which means AD is playing basically a stretch 4 type role. And we know he's not, he can play that role, but that's not when he's at his best. The Lakers are better with AD at the 5 because you can surround him and LeBron with all shooters. Everything can go at that point. You know what I mean? I don't like AD playing the 4 with Drummond because Drummond's occupying the space where LeBron want to go and attack the paint. Well, he can't drive and kick if Drummond sitting right there at the dunker spot. But AD's so doggone soft, man. He don't want to play the 5. He don't want to bang. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's the issue. So Vogel got to go to them boys and say, look, dog, what we gonna do? You coming out there at the 5, and we'll play Drummond in certain spots, but AD got to play more minutes at the 5, man. If they're gonna do anything with Phoenix.
Hey, Chris.
AD playing more minutes at the 5 than Drummond and all them out the lineup.
Hold on, Troll God. Chris, you was about to respond. I want to hear what you got to say.
I lost track of what I was finna say. But just talking about the whole series, I agree with what Brandon is saying because we talk about AD. I think somebody just said they were waiting for a 37-15 game. He had 34 and 14 in the last game.
Hold on, that's what you was about to say, and I wanted to respond to that. That's what I was waiting for you. Okay, Will, what was Randall, Julius Randle? Don't it seem like he played better in game 2 than what he did in game 1?
Who, Julius Randle?
Yeah,
he scrubbed out both games.
Scrubbed out both games.
He screwed up both games.
If you look at Julius Randle, for the record, he did play better in game 2 than game 1.
No. He had one good quarter. He had a decent run in the third quarter of game 2. He struggled the rest of the game.
But what did he do game 1 though? What did he do game 1? He didn't do anything game 1.
His numbers about the same though. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. His numbers are exactly the same. His numbers.
That's their problem. Atlanta is more proficient in the paint than New York is. Like Collins and Capella down there. Randle ain't finna go bang with them.
No, but check this out. Julius Randle, he did have more of an impact in game 2 than he did game 1. You just say he had a big quarter and he had a big quarter. What quarter was that? That was the third quarter.
Yeah, but it wasn't because of him, is what I'm saying. It was because Thibodeau, if you watch the game, the last quarter of the season, they were playing Alfred Payton 8 minutes a game. 4 minutes to start the game in the first quarter, 4 minutes to start the second half. This last game, they put D Rose in, and by having D Rose in, it allowed Randle to have more space to operate because you can't cheat off D Rose like you could cheat off of Alfred Payton. So the small impact that he had in the third quarter was really because of D Rose.
Okay, but
Randle ain't do nothing.
Okay.
Rose is a better slasher than Alfred Payton. Rose in the game, Randle down there in the paint gonna cut off Rose's lane, so he gonna that forces Randle to either step up to the high post and screen and roll, or step out and shoot and hit a mid-range jumper.
But
he don't have that luxury with Payton in. Payton ain't got no jumper. Rose can hit a mid-range 3-point. Payton can drive. That's it.
Hey, but this is my whole point though. Okay, you felt Randle's presence in the third quarter. Y'all was up, right? Well, in the third quarter, y'all was up.
We was up at halftime by 13, and they came out.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And Randle, he made you feel his presence. But at the end of the game, he still had the same numbers as the first game. I think he had 15 and 12 each game.
I never. I was, but what I'm saying is, I don't think Atlanta or anybody was scared around. It was D Rose.
No,
Like,
I'm not. That's not. I'm not saying that y'all are scared. I'm just saying Randall' presence was felt in the second game, and it wasn't felt in the first game, even though he had the same numbers. That's what I'm trying to say about AD. Even though he had what was his exact numbers, 34 and 12.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't feel his presence as much as I could. As let's say he had 34 and 12, but he banging, he inside, he not just shooting jump shots. He actually banging, getting offensive rebounds. And go ahead, Chris.
Did you not watch him in the fourth quarter?
Yeah. I watched him in the fourth quarter. He got to the free throw line. I said he hit a big three. I said he hit a big three.
Break down his points though. Just break down his points. He hit 10. He scored 14 points in the fourth quarter alone. See, they combined him and LeBron and say LeBron and AD scored 19 points in the fourth quarter.
I seen
but
that.
LeBron only had 5.
Oh.
So AD scored 14 in the fourth quarter to not only keep them ahead, but every time Phoenix started to make a run, AD ended up at the free throw line. And then late, he hit a three. LeBron hit a three. So his impact was felt massively in that fourth quarter. Because if he don't score those 14 points, it's a chance Phoenix wins that game. So you can't say he got to be down there and he got to bang. The point is he has to continue to do the things that he needs to do in order to win. Part of the reason why he can't stay in the paint is what Brandon was saying. You got Drummond in the game. And even when you don't have Drummond in the game, a lot of times when you give LeBron the ball on the wing, if he's in attack mode, you can't still leave Anthony Davis in the paint because that allows that center to still occupy that space. So what you want to do when LeBron is in attack mode, you want to move AD out. You want to let LeBron get to the rim with the least amount of resistance. If it's a bunch of guards and small forwards in the paint, it's hard for any of them to challenge LeBron there. But the moment you put a big man in there, you just created a whole different type of ball game. So it's easy to say AD get in the paint. But when you're looking at the way that they're playing, you look at LeBron's whole career. He's never excelled with a person that really occupied the paint. He turned Chris Bosh into a three-point shooter. He turned Kevin Love into a pure three-point shooter. So, and they won titles with it. AD just has to continue to be AD. When LeBron's not in the game, that's when he should be, give me the ball, I'm going down on the block, and I'm going to do my thing. But
that's what I'm saying. He don't, when LeBron not in the game, he don't do that. He settled for the jumper more than enough. He settled for the jumper too many times. And I get what you're saying. I agree what you're saying. And that's what I'm saying. I would feel like I watched AD against Portland last year in the playoffs. There wasn't too many jumpers, and we had the big men for him, but he was attacking. And
all them big
that's when JaVale McGee was starting. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Troll God. I'm gonna let you go.
This is one of my knocks as far as present day NBA. A lot of teams that went from playing the inside out scheme to the outside in scheme, meaning they would rather come out shooting jumpers to establish some kind of post presence than going into the bigs first and getting some points down in the paint, establishing the rhythm, and getting the other team's bigs in some kind of foul trouble to have them kind of guessing on defense. Now that outside in ball is good if you come out hitting, but if you come out missing jumpers and you can't get any kind of rhythm established, then you want to try to throw it into the bigs and have them jumping up the paint. You're gonna create a whole bunch of confusion. Now, if AD wants to settle for those jumpers, what he should do, get out the paint if he knows LeBron is going to drive, step up to the high post, do some kind of screen and roll or some kind of kick out and get out the goddamn way. Set a screen, pop out. If LeBron drives to go, they're gonna collapse. You can shoot your jumper in. Don't just come out, get the ball, face the man, and shoot the jumper. That outside in basketball is killing the league.
When AD's at the 5, that's what he does. But you can't run the pick and roll with AD and Drummond's in the game because nobody's gonna guard Drummond. Right. We want you out there on the post. Now we playing 4-on-5. And the reason why that game didn't change though is because you got to look at it. In the 90s, Jordan was one of one. It was a big man's game. So we played outside in. Now, everybody's the little man game. It's analytics. The three-pointer is worth more than the two. Even if you shoot 18 for 54, even if you shoot 20 for 70. So,
and here's a knock with Drummond.
Things, they changed that game.
I agree with you. And here's a knock with Drummond in the game. If you got somebody else driving to the goal with Drummond in the game, Drummond is not going to step out to mid-range. He's not a shooter. So he's just going to be down there on somewhere on the block, creating confusion and creating an extra presence in the paint that's blocking up the lane.
Right.
But you can't have people driving into the lane with Drummond in because he's going to be down there in the paint looking to get off at the rebound. His man's going to be down there with him trying to box him out. And then you got the man that's driving to the goal with his defender. That's already full bodies in the paint, creating a whole bunch of confusion.
He's a gift and a curse.
So it's all about, and we can look at it at football too, man. It's all about spacing. I think athletes today, and that's not a knock on any other era, you know what I mean? I just think with technology, guys are more skilled and they're more athletic today. So what you want to do is you want to get these athletes in space. That's why you're seeing people using the perimeter shots to set up the inside presence, right? Same with football. You want to space that thing out. We used to run the ball to set up the pass. Now you go pass the ball to set up the run. You know what I'm saying? So everything's backwards because everything's predicated on spacing and getting your athletes more space to operate. And that's the reason why the Lakers are more effective with AD at the 5, because you got more space. You can run a lineup with LeBron, KCP, Caruso, Schroeder, whoever you want to put out there, and you throw AD at the 5. You got more space to operate. Everything's wide open. So now when you want to run the LeBron James, Anthony Davis pick and roll, you got shooters. So nobody can't help on that pick and roll. You better not leave that shooter. But when Drummond's in the game, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we can't, I'm gonna agree with my favorite TV personality right now, Shannon Sharpe. You gotta look at the impact that Drummond still has.
Oh, we lost you, Chris? Hold on.
All right.
Chris.
Y'all can hear me?
We can hear you. We can't hear Chris.
Oh, we got Coach Brandon Richard in the house, y'all.
we can't hear you, Chris. What's up, B? What's up, man?
What's up, Coach?
What's going on? What's up, fellas? What's out?
We can't hear you, Chris.
We can't hear you, Chris.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
So what I was gonna say is you gotta look at the impact that Drummond still has. Like in game 1, when was it game 1? It might have been game 2. Like Drummond had 7 offensive rebounds.
Right.
So it's all matchup dependent. I don't think the Lakers should go to the sole purpose of having Drummond, AD at the 5. I think you come out in the lineup that you come out with in your traditional lineup. You don't have to worry about the Houston Rockets no more, who was bringing out PJ Tucker at the 5. You don't have to worry about that no more. So I think you still come out in your regular lineup because he served the purpose. He had like 15 and 12 in the last game. And that's solid, especially for somebody who don't have any form of perimeter game. He still brings that to the inside. But I do think they need to limit him. He shouldn't see 30 minutes with AD. He should be more around 22.
That's what I was saying. I'm not saying totally like get rid of him out the game plan, but you gotta run more lineups with AD at the 5 because that makes LeBron even more effective. I'm not saying just totally get rid of him, but we saw last year during the Lakers run with some of those series, Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee got limited action just because of the matchup.
Hey, Brandon Richard, I want to hear your opinion on this. Like I was saying, I said the Suns win tonight, but I think the Lakers win the next 3 and win in 6. What's your thought on that series so far?
It's tough. With the injuries on both sides. With LeBron and AD playing through injury, and now you got CP3 playing through injury. It's kind of tough to gauge it a little bit. It's been real close. And both teams never really looked as at their best. Like you've seen better from both teams, so it's kind of hard to gauge. I think if AD stay aggressive, I think Phoenix in trouble. An aggressive AD is hard to deal with because he could do so much. And I agree with Lakers' best lineup is with AD at the 5 because I mean now you can do anything now. You could post with AD or LeBron. You could spread the floor with AD and let LeBron go to work, let him attack more, open up that lane. Now Drummond is valuable because he can give you something, but man, they scary with AD at the 5, man. And I think when they get in trouble, I think you're gonna see more of that. And I'm betting on Lakers tonight.
So you got the Lakers tonight. You got the Lakers in 5, 6, or 7.
Lakers in 5, man.
Now you think they win the rest of the games?
Nah, I'm gonna go Lakers. Lakers.
All right, Wilk. Hey, Wilk, I noticed you made a face when I said the Lakers lose tonight, but win the next 3. What's going on with that?
Man, look, I called before the series started. I said Lakers in 5. I'm gonna stick with that, but I really, my heart and my gut telling me it's gonna be Lakers in 6. First of all, Phoenix not beating the Lakers in LA, so they're not winning tonight, and they're not winning Game 4. They might have a chance to win when they go back to Phoenix, and then LA probably gonna close it out in LA. Game 6. They're not beating LA in LA, man. It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
LeBron gonna have another one of those. He gonna have another one of those games where he kind of just out there and it's like, what the hell you kind of doing tonight? He gonna have another one of those games, and that's the one Phoenix gonna win. And then he gonna close them out in 6.
All right, before we get to my team game, I want to talk about your team first, Wilk. I want to talk about the Hawks and the Knicks. The floor is yours, Wilk. I'm gonna let you go ahead. Whatever you got, the floor is yours.
The Hawks they in the playoff?
Oh man. Hey, first of all, I want to say I'm totally
choosing violence.
I'm mad. I'm mad at Trae Young because I'd have pressed charges on that boy. Let the world know that boy name for spitting on you, cuz I'm mad about that. You know what I'm saying? But aside from that, we gave that game away. We was up by 13. They had a great third quarter. I think Coach Nate McMillan, if you go back and rewatch the game, which nobody's gonna go back and rewatch it because nobody care about the Hawks and the Knicks, but we were down by 10, and at the 10-minute mark in the fourth quarter, we cut it down to 3. They called a timeout. The Knicks called a timeout. I thought at that time Nate McMillan should have brought Trae Young and the starters back in. That way he can run them boys for about 7 minutes, get them a breather, bring them back in to close the game out. He didn't. He kept the bench in. The next 90 seconds, they ballooned the lead back up to plus 10. And then you brought Trae Young and the guys back in 8 minutes, 30 seconds. From then on, we tied the game. And then I think what happened is the guys got burnt out. So for the last 5 minutes, we scored 1 point. The game was tied. And the last 5 minutes of the game, we scored 1 point. We had open jump shots. I don't know if guys' legs were tired or whatever, but it wasn't defense by the Knicks. Bogdanovich missed a 3 coming off a curl. DeAndre Hunter missed 2 wide open 3s out the corner. Trae Young missed a wide open 3 on the wing. They just missed shots. And the Knicks executed down the stretch. And I kept on saying it on the thread. I am scared to death of Derrick Rose. Because when Derrick Rose won an MVP award, how people used to play them was, hey, man, back up off Derrick Rose. Force Derrick Rose to shoot. You can't do that no more. He's shooting 40% from 3. I'm scared of Derrick Rose, man. We don't have an answer for Derrick Rose.
All right, Chris, I want to hear from you next. What you think about that series going forward?
Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5?
Knicks in 5. Nah, I'm messing with Brandon, man. Nah,
I gotta say what you drinking over there, man.
Nah. I agree with you about game 2. I do think they should have brought their starters back in. I actually watched the game. I like Trae Young. I like Julius Randle. So I actually did give it some time. I do think the Knicks will get maybe one more game, but I think Hawks are winning 6. I think the Knicks are one star, perimeter star away from being a really good team. If they could get another guard in and leave D Rose coming off the bench, another lead guard to where you don't have to bring him in and start him, because once you start him, you do hurt your bench. So you really can't say, okay, I'm going to start you for the rest of the time, because then you're going to really hurt your bench. And now D Rose going to have to chase around Trae Young for 30 minutes or whoever they decide to put him on. But it's going to hurt him on the opposite end of the court. So I do think the Hawks will make enough shots to win the series. Trae Young will get everything together. He'll probably have 2 more games of 20 and 10, and they'll get it done in 6.
Hey, did you notice the adjustment that Thibodeau made down the stretch? He did not have RJ Barrett in the game like he did game 1. He ran with Reggie Bullock. Reggie Bullock got the minutes down the stretch instead of RJ Barrett. I think that was very, very smart.
Hey, before the series started, I picked Atlanta in 7. I'ma still say Atlanta with 7 and 7. The reason why I think Atlanta could win in New York in Game 7, Wilk, I know you disagree, is because I think in a Game 7, if you have the best player on the floor, that gives you a chance to win. I just think Atlanta. I think if it goes 7, Atlanta gonna win.
We're not winning in the Garden in the Game 7. It's gonna be crazy, you know.
Yeah,
if it goes 7, the Knicks gonna win.
First time in the playoffs in forever. Yeah, Mama's cooking is gonna be all in that.
I still got Atlanta at 7. What you got, Troll God? I know you. What you playing? You playing Atlanta against New York right now on 2K?
No, I'm in my career, bro. I got tired of dunking on balls. I created me a shooter. I'm playing with the Orlando Magic. But yeah, as far as that series, I still got Atlanta winning it. That's my dark horse, like I said. As far as the next 2 games, I'm predicting a split.
Hold on. Your boy just commented. Say what you gotta say, Troll God.
Who's that?
That's your boy Max, the one you said you killed.
Oh, Max Echelon. You see, that name ain't on Facebook. Yo, he Gary Johnson. Mama name Johnson. I'm gonna call him Johnson. What's up, Max? Talk your shit about Miami Saturday, nigga. But in the meanwhile, I'll get with you later. But yeah, as far as this Knicks and Hawks, I'm predicting a split of the next 2 games in Atlanta. Game 5 is where I think is gonna be the pivotal game in the Garden. If the Knicks let Atlanta steal Game 5 in the Garden, then it's over in 6. Other than that, I'm still picking Atlanta in 7. But Game 5 is gonna tell it about this one.
All right, Brandon Reshaw, how you feel about that series?
Atlanta in 6. If it goes 7, is over. New York gonna win it if it goes 7. They're not winning Game 7 in the Garden, man. It's gonna be those fans, man. It's gonna be crazy in the Garden for a Game 7. Those fans been hungry for a playoff berth. It's gonna be crazy, and it's gonna be something that those young Hawks never seen before.
Yep.
And you know, Trae he the best player in the series, but I don't think he's gonna be ready to step up to that challenge. That's gonna be like a learning thing for him if they get to that Game 7.
I disagree right there, though, B. I agree with everything you said.
I don't think he's gonna be ready, though. It's not that I'm not saying he gonna shy away from it. I think he gonna try too hard.
I think it's gonna be the other people though, because when I looked at the first 2 games, everybody has struggled with Atlanta for the most part. They haven't been as efficient as they have during the regular season, except Trae. I think Trae is one of those guys, man. He feeds off the negative energy from the away crowd. Because I think a lot of people doubted him coming out of Oklahoma because of his size and everything else. So I think he has something to prove. But I think it's the guys like DeAndre Hunter, Kevin Huerter, John Collins. I don't think those guys can step up to that moment like a Game 7 in the Garden. If it was a Game 7 in the Garden, I think Trae still would drop 30 and we'll lose by double digits.
I think Trae dropped 30, but he tried too hard for that 30, is what I'm saying.
It's a very inefficient 30.
Right. It's gonna be an ugly 30. It's gonna be like, man, Trae had 30, like, but he had to work for that 30. Like I think it's gonna be that type of game. But I think I don't even think we're gonna get to see it because I say Atlanta in 6. I think they're gonna win in 6. Atlanta tough at home. I think they're gonna win the next
No,
two.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
And,
we on an 11 game win streak at home.
All right. Well, I want to talk about my squad next. I want to talk about the later game that's coming on Portland and Denver.
Who?
Portland and Denver.
That must
Portland and
be.
Denver. Yeah, man. Denver putting Aaron Gordon on Dame in that second half. That was big, bro. That was big. And the reason, you know why? You know why Denver able to do that without losing anything? You know why? Because
Wow.
we got 3 guards starting. we got three
people
guards.
6 feet shorter, man.
So Denver is able to do that. They're able to do that, and they won't lose anything. Like they still won't have no mismatches nowhere. They're able to do that, and it's up to Terry Stotts to figure out what he's gonna do because I think Denver gonna come out with Aaron Gordon on Dame to start off the game. That's what I think. I think they're gonna come out like that. Game in Portland. I'm gonna still roll I still got Portland in 6. I think Dame, CJ, Norman Powell, they all gonna have 20 tonight. I think that Norman Powell playoff experience you was talking about on last podcast, because like you said, he is a champion. He does know how to win. I think this is that game. This is his breakout game in the playoffs this year. I think Norman Powell gonna have a big game. I think Portland, we're gonna beat Denver by 5 tonight, and I think we're gonna win the series in 6. I want to hear from you first, Chris.
No Jamal Murray. I have to agree. I do want to see the game tonight and see how Dame and Portland attack Aaron Gordon on Dame starting at the beginning of the game. I think this is a game where Carmelo Anthony could play a big role because if you're gonna take your small forward / power forward, whatever you want to label him, and put him on the point guard, this could be a position where Carmelo can come in and can really abuse a guy like Michael Porter Jr. on the block.
Hey, can I respond to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was actually thinking that we should start Carmelo tonight. That's what I was thinking,
I would say so too.
And let Norman Powell come off the bench. That's what I was thinking. We should actually start Melo tonight. But go ahead, you can finish.
I would say so too. The only reason why I would say not to is just to keep your team continuity going as it is. But I think you may increase his minutes. Let's see if Melo coming in the game can take advantage of a matchup like that. Even if you put him in like a pick and roll situation where you got maybe CJ McCollum and you work in a pick and roll situation and let Melo take advantage of one of those smaller guys, because now you are putting one of your bigger guys on the point guard. I don't think he can completely stop Dame, but I think he'll make it harder. But I don't think they'll have enough offensively to beat Portland in the long run. So I say Portland in 6.
All right, Wilt, what's your thoughts on the series, Wilt?
I think originally I picked Portland in 6. I got if Portland win tonight, I got Portland in 5. And that's just I got Portland in 5. They win tonight.
All right, Coach.
I'm going Portland in 5, man. I think
Hold on. Let me find the Spider-Man thing, B.
Denver without Murray. And I think Portland.
Hold on, you're kind of breaking up. You're kind of breaking up, Coach.
Yeah.
I think they just it's gonna be a little.
Get on that 5G, Coach.
And I will say this real quick, just to interject. I think if Will Barton comes back for Denver, he can play a pivotal role. He is an offensive spark plug. I think he can take up some of that scoring that left out by Jamal Murray. And he's a big body as well, so I think he can combat some of those things where you're trying to put Carmelo Anthony and maybe taking advantage of some of the smaller bodies. And it could stretch the game, the series out, maybe to 7. I still think Portland wins, but Will Barton could be very pivotal in this series, just depending on how you feel coming back from his injury.
All right, Coach, you want to finish up what you were saying? You was breaking up.
Okay, guess not.
All right, go ahead,
Yeah,
Troll God. Oh,
I'm
go ahead,
having
go ahead, Coach.
I'm having some internet issues right now. Yeah, I thought my bad. I was having some internet issues right now. Yeah, I think Portland just gonna be a little too strong for them offensively. I see Portland closing this out in 5. I think they forcing Joker to play really want to play. And he's still gonna get his numbers, but it's gonna affect overall. And I think they're gonna make it tough for him to play the game he really want to play.
I mean, I'm trying to think, how do we make it tough on Joker? Because we threw Nurk at him, threw Kane. I honestly, if Nurk not gonna give us nothing on offense, I think we should play Kainter on him more, because Kainter at least gonna make him work on defense a lot. Because Kainter gonna go for offensive rebounds. He got offensive moves. He could give you on a regular basis. Kainter could give you 17 and 10. But
And
what's your
give up
thoughts?
40 on the other side.
But that's what I'm saying. Nurk already giving that up already. So if Nurk not gonna hold Joker to 20, why not just play Kainter on him more? Because Kainter gonna make Joker work. What you think about the series, Troll God?
It's over.
It's over for who?
Denver. Portland in 6. I was saying 7, but they really missing Jamal Murray. I don't know how they won their last game. Props to them, but I don't see them winning more than 2 games. Portland in 6.
I know how they won that last game because they put Aaron Gordon on Dame and we stopped scoring. Like Dame brought us back by hitting a ton of threes. So they came.
You can't put that on Dame just because Aaron was on him. You got CJ, you got Melo, you got what's the other boy you said was gonna have a big game?
Norman Powell.
Yeah, you got all them. If you got Aaron locking up Dame Lillard, you got all them available still to still make points. You can't just say Aaron locking up Dame Lillard was the whole point of them losing the game. I mean, they had his part to play in it, but shit, everybody else got a hit too. It wasn't just like they lost a close game. Them boys got blown the fuck out. And that was without Jamal Murray. But I'm pretty sure they make adjustments tonight and go ahead and get that. First home game in Portland for the playoffs. You know what time it is.
So you got Portland tonight?
I picked Portland to win the series. Why wouldn't I have them?
All right, before I talk about this next series, I'm gonna just ask the question. What up, Wilk? I heard from you already, huh? Yeah, I heard from you.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I'm gonna just ask this question. Does anybody have the Wizards winning a game in that series?
No.
I do.
Nah.
I do too.
I got them winning 1. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna be any sweeps in this first round. For some 4-1s maybe, but the NBA got a lot of money to make from last season. I don't see any sweeps. It's gonna be It's gonna be some more 4-1s than we expected. But I think Washington can get at least 1, bro, at home.
If they get Embiid in foul trouble like they did game 1, that's the only way I see them winning a game. If they get him, if Bill and Westbrook attacking and get Embiid in foul trouble, yeah, I could see them winning a game.
That's what I say about that outside inball. Starting to play, go back to inside out, get the opposing team's bigs in foul troubles. That creates some more post looks for your bigs and create some open looks for your shooter. Don't just start off shooting, because if you start off shooting and you missing, you out of there. And then you got the other team big, not in foul trouble. They still in there getting all the rebounds. If you off, you mentally out of there. So yeah, they got to get Embiid, Harris, Dwight, and all of them in foul trouble to have any chance of winning.
Get your brooms out, man. It's over.
What's that?
I said, get your brooms out, man. It's over.
Gentlemen sweep.
Why you got them winning 1, Wilt?
I just think, man, Russ and Bill just gonna have that game where they're just gonna explode, man. I just don't see them getting swept. Now, do they have a chance to win the series? No. No. But you got to look at. I look at stuff like we all got certain things that motivate us in life, and I think Russ already is motivated by all the slander. You know what I'm saying, a lot of people didn't think these guys were gonna make the playoffs, you know. And then you look at they got their heads kicked in, and then the man got popcorn dumped on him. Man, Russ about to come with it. Like Russ really about to come. They might win game 3 on the cool, and then that's it. It's over with. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm finna take another loss as far as the picks because Miami is out of there, bro. These niggas can't even score 60 points in 3 quarters. It's 82-58.
Yeah, that's sad, bro. Oh, that's sad.
It was halfway through the third. These boys only had 40 points. God damn, you got some teams scoring that a quarter. What the fuck, Miami? Y'all got all these shooters.
Hey, troll God, they might have 3 sweeps in the first round of the playoffs. You saying they ain't gonna have none? They might have 3.
Might not. You know what I'm saying? That's
'Cause-
part of sports debating and player and game picks. You don't get them all right every time.
all right, so does anybody have Boston winning the game?
I'll they win one. They got 2 at home. I'll go against the grain and pick them to win one.
Nah, bro. Hey, nah, I don't think so. I don't think so, troll God, man. I think
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
y'all also said don't bet against Steph Curry.
Hey, we're not talking about Steph Curry,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm just saying you don't think so. Don't tell me you think. Tell me you know. Thinking don't get you no credit.
Hey,
My
hey,
man slid that in quick.
man, Shay said my dog just be talking just to talk, man.
They're not gonna win the series, bro. We all
No,
in
no,
agreement on that. But I'll go against the grain and give them one game.
nah, I don't. I got Boston winning 0 just because Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn is too much, bro. Like, bro, James Harden trade made them invincible to me, bro. Like, I think they're gonna win the championship. Like that's how strongly I feel about Brooklyn. Uh, that James Harden going on that team, moving to point guard, making Kyrie Irving the full-time shooting guard that he should have always been. And then Kevin Durant, the offensive player that you could put in any offensive system ever made. Kevin Durant, you could put him in any offensive system ever made. I think Brooklyn's just too much for Boston. I honestly got them winning the championship.
And shout out to Brooklyn too, because the thing about it is all the players that they picked up, they're actually having fun playing ball. Now Harden is playing with like he actually enjoys playing. Like he's not in the same mental scenario as in Houston where he feels like he got to be the workhorse and produce over 50% of the team's points or offense or whatever. Yeah, and they playing at a very high pace right now, and the boys is healthy. If you got Harden, KD, and Kyrie averaging damn near 80 points a game, all playoffs, there's gonna be some problems for the rest of the team. The East is back, man. Can y'all believe it?
Hey, Wilk, you got anything to add on that series, bro?
No, I mean, whenever we did the original podcast, I brought the broom out for y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing that can happen, my brother. Like Tatum can go drop 60 and it ain't gonna be enough. Like it ain't nothing they can do. It's an onslaught with Harden, Kyrie, and KD. You know what I mean? And then you looking at Blake Griffin. We all thought he was washed. Well, he ain't even got to worry about being a number 1, 2, 3, and probably not even a number 4 option. He can just go out there and just hoop and just do whatever. Like whatever contribution he brings is positive. Jeff Green, you know what I'm saying? This man had heart surgery or something, you know, a few years ago. He back out there competing defensively, hitting big shots. I mean, I don't know how it's over for Boston, cutting. Like it's over with. Like who's gonna like Kemba Walker's so inconsistent. Marcus Smart's offense isn't there. Yeah, he's a defensive guy, but he ain't stopping Kyrie, KD, or Harden. So your defense is irrelevant in this series. Tristan Thompson sad. You know what I'm saying? What the other? I like Robert Williams. What the other dude is that? Grant Williams or something? Sad. Ojale sad. But them boys, it's over with.
Hey,
Marcus Smart is the great value version of Tony Allen.
Hey, Troll God, and just for the record, the person that said don't bet on Steph Curry was your boy Gary Anderson. Don't put that on all of us. All of us didn't say that. He said that. just
So
for the record.
by y'all picking Golden State to win that game, y'all basically saying don't bet against Steph
No,
Curry
no,
in
no,
this.
no. I picked Golden
I know,
State
but
to win the game, not because of Steph Curry. I just thought there was better. I just thought Golden State as a whole was better than Memphis. That's why I picked them.
like I said, but y'all never take them intangibles into consideration. Y'all like to make y'all picks based on numbers, stats, black and
No,
white, and
bro.
all that. Y'all don't take
No,
into
bro.
consideration
No,
the boy
bro.
just got his soul sucked up by LeBron
Everybody,
James,
everybody
their
make their
legs
pick.
all tied, huh?
Everybody make their pick for their own reason. Everybody don't make a pick because of the same reason. Everybody make their pick on a game for their own reason. That's why we have a podcast to explain why we're making our pick. Now,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
saying
telling you, and I'm
Gary
telling you how I make
Anderson.
my pick.
Now I'm saying
Y'all never
Gary.
bring the intangibles into
I,
y'all equation, which is
I,
why
I
I'm
don't,
10 and
and
1 and y'all behind.
I don't disrespect your picks. I don't disrespect your picks. I'm telling you that you tried to put it on all of us by saying we said don't bet on Steph Curry. No, Gary
No,
Anderson said
I'm
that.
not trying to put it on
That's why
nobody.
he made that pick. I'm telling you why I made my pick. Was I wrong? Yes, you just said it. We can't be right every time. But I'm just telling you why I made my pick. I'm telling you that's the reason he made his pick, because he said you don't bet against Steph Curry.
Okay, you correct me on that. I'll take that. But I said that to say this. You talking about I don't think they're gonna win a game. You also thought Steph Curry was gonna blow John Morant in them out.
Oh, my dog Hood, son. That boy opened the can with the knife, okay? Hey, yeah.
What is that? What the hell is that?
Hey man, hey, you think you could take the man? Yeah, you could take the man out the hood. You can't take the hood out the man.
This boy opened a can with a knife.
Yeah, dog. Yeah.
That's gutter.
Hey,
Yeah,
you gotta be
that's
resourceful, man.
gutter. Hey, you got some real nigga points with me on that one, boy.
Real talk, you know what I'm saying?
That boy said the podcast is live. Fuck going to get that can open.
The boy giving his tape, opening the can with his name. You know what I'm saying? Didn't miss a beat.
You know what I'm talking about? The motherfucking supreme, outstanding multitask.
The boy talking about Russell Westbrook with triple doubles, man. I ain't never seen nobody give a solid take and open a can with a knife. You know what I'm saying?
And he online on the computer working at the same time. He probably got a stream set up in his little boy cave to get ready to go play some goddamn Fortnite. That nigga got about 6-7 different streams in one room. Online ball.
All right, man. Hey, and anybody else got anything to add to that Celtics and Net series?
Nah, it's over, man.
I think it's a sweep. I think with Jaylen Brown, that's a whole new series. But without him, they have no chance.
With Jaylen Brown, it's probably 5, but yeah, I get you.
All right.
I said it wasn't gonna be no sweeps first round, but I also did say that series was gonna be the closest thing to a sweep in the first round.
All right, Troll guys, since you started it a little bit about the Memphis, I'm gonna let you start this next topic. The Memphis and the Jazz. Where you got that series going between the Memphis and the Jazz?
6 games, possibly 7. I only picked Memphis to win the first game because I put the intangible into my equation that nobody picked them to beat Golden State, and them boys came in with a whole bunch of heart and knocked the MVP candidate fresh about the playoffs on the road. So I figured I picked them to ride that wave of momentum into the first game, but I still don't think they've beaten the number 1 team in the West. Boys forgot I picked Utah to win the West at the beginning of the season.
Okay, who you got, Wilt?
I got Utah, but Utah ain't winning the West. They ain't.
Huh? No, I'm talking about the regular season, Wilt.
Okay.
I picked Utah to have the best record out the West. I also said Atlanta won the draft and was gonna make a run this year. Did I not? I showed you the post the other day.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, boy, I just be talking though. Shane.
Boys ain't
10-1, Bill. I'm Bill Russell in this motherfucker.
Boys ain't never want to hit me about Atlanta in the offseason acquisitions and stuff that they made. So I'm glad you was able to see that. But anyway, I ain't gonna harp on them Hawks, man. You know, y'all already know, man. Let's go Hawks this way. Anyway, Utah gonna win it, man. I think Utah gonna win in 6. I do think Memphis is gonna get another game. They might get game 3. They're gonna get one of them in Memphis, but I think Utah gonna close them out. I think that offense for Utah just went, back to the level it was at during the regular season when Donovan Mitchell came back. And that's just what it is, man. Dylan Brooks can only do so much defensively. He giving max effort on Donovan Mitchell out there, man. But I just think Utah, they've been there before. Like, they've been in the playoffs. You got Defensive Player of the Year candidate with Rudy Gobert. You got Donovan Mitchell hooping. You got Mike Conley, who has playoff experience with the Grizzlies. And they were in the playoffs last year. You got they got a Bogdanovich over there that's pretty nice. Then you can come off the bench with Joe Ingles and Jordan Clarkson, and I think they still got Royce O'Neal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Royce O'Neal
shout out to Clarkson, 6th man of the year.
And then you factor in Derek Favors as well. So I just think Utah has too much, but I will say Ja Morant is not scared, man. I like what I see out of Ja Morant. He's not scared, but I'll still take Trae Young though.
And speaking of Ja Morant, going back to that little debate we had, I'm gonna take Morant and Brooks over DeRozan and DeJounte Murray now, like I did before.
Easily. I don't think nobody picked DeJounte Murray and DeRozan.
I remember on a previous podcast, which is the better tandem, Morant and Brooks or Murray and DeRozan. A couple of people picked DeRozan and Murray.
I don't know.
Man, Murray is
and
grossly overrated.
They said it was. I think it was Justin Jackson. I think it was his name. Yeah. So Murray and DeRozan, and it's not particularly close. Looking at
Hey, Chris, before I get to you, I just want to say this. Hey, if y'all Utah and Dallas right now, don't y'all got to be feeling confident going into this next round if they make it? Both teams, I'm saying both teams, Utah and Dallas, because I think if Utah and Dallas meet up in the second round, I think both teams really thinking that, okay, we're going to beat this team. We're going to be in the conference finals. Do y'all agree with that?
I agree with the Dallas part. If both of them win this series, they play each other next round.
Yeah.
Dallas to the Western Conference Finals. Riding that Duke Nukem wave. if Dallas meets Utah, Utah is out of there. What guard Utah got gonna hold Doncic?
I disagree.
And Gobert got to deal with Willie Cauley-Stein and Porzingis.
All right, let me hear from you, Will.
I disagree because I think the issue with the Clippers is that they don't have an interior defensive presence, so Luka can do whatever the heck he want to do. When you go against Utah, those guys can sell out on the perimeter to force him to drive down to Rudy Gobert. The only thing that can stop them is if Rudy Gobert is playing Porzingis and they force him out on the perimeter. But if Willie Cauley-Stein in the game, oh man, ain't nobody worried about him.
They sell out on Doncic and they sell out on Doncic and let a lot of other players to hit. What happens when Porzingis steps out and starts hitting threes? What power forward or big gonna step out from the paint and guard him?
I'm living with that over Luka Doncic giving me
y'all keep living with the guard Lukic and let other players go.
I didn't say guard Luke. I said the Clippers don't have an interior defensive presence, so you can sell out to Luka. So what's happening? Luka's killing these guys on the perimeter, and then he's mixing it up, and he can get to the cup against the Clippers because they ain't got nobody to guard in the paint. Well, if you got a guy like Rudy Gobert down at the paint, you can sell out on the perimeter to force him to drive. So basically, take away his perimeter jump shots, force him to drive because you got a defensive anchor down low. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying it's gonna work. I'm just saying it's a better defensive game plan than what the Clippers got going right now. Because he just cooking boys.
Indeed, but you force him to drive and he kicks out Hardaway and all them other boys hitting, what you gonna do then? Who gonna help you?
And like I said,
keep saying force Luka to do this, force Luka to do that, but he is not the only person on that team scoring.
July said it best. You don't allow the superstar to beat you. If I can force the ball out of Luka's hands, I want somebody else to beat me.
How about this? You don't allow anybody to beat you, period. Quit talking and win the losses. If you get on the court thinking somebody's going to beat you, you done fucking lost already.
You got to have a game plan. You ain't shutting everything down. That ain't
it's 5-on-5, not 1-on-5. You can concentrate on one man. You got to have a game plan, continue game plan for the other folks.
You know, just like I know, the NBA is predicated on offense right now. So I don't care if you got a top 5 defense in the NBA. You're gonna give something up. Either you're gonna give up the 2 or you're gonna give up the 3. Or you're gonna let the superstar go or you're gonna let the other guys go.
I'm gonna show you how Golden State lost with the exact reverse theory of this bullshit thing y'all been trying to stress over the whole podcast. They let Curry score. They stopped everybody else from scoring. Let Luka score. Stop everybody else. Force somebody else to score.
You can't compare the
One
two
person
because
can.
they scored.
If Luka score 50 points and they lose 110 to 50.
Nah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all worry about stopping one man. It's not a 1-on-5. It's a 5-on-5.
What you getting twisted up is the fact that Luka is having 40-point triple doubles, which means he's getting guys involved. He's getting into the paint. He's getting into the.
You talking about
Let me talk. You know what I'm saying? Like Luka's getting into the paint and he's getting into the other guys as well. What I'm saying is, I'm gonna guard Luka one-on-one. I'm gonna sell out to prevent him from killing me on the perimeter. Man, look, drive in to Rudy Gobert. He down there. Drive in to Rudy Gobert. Everybody else, y'all stay home on the shooters.
You can force Luka to drive all you want. That's how he got triple doubles. He can pass. He got court vision. You don't think forcing Luka to drive gonna stop him from running that offense? Negative. He had a triple double. If you force him to drive, he can kick out. He can kick out and get assists.
Name me the rim protector.
Huh?
Well, by your logic, they should have won the championship last year. Nobody can't stop Luka or the shooters. What happened last year?
We ain't about last year. Think about that old shit. You niggas like to bring irrelevant factors. You like to bring irrelevant factors in the equation. We talking about these playoffs. I can talk about how bad Clippers was that last playoff. We ain't worried about that. We talking about right now. You want to bring a whole bunch of irrelevant stuff into the argument. You know what I'm saying?
The Bucks have a championship. If they unstoppable.
I ain't saying they're unstoppable. You trying talking about force Luka to drive, that's gonna stop him. No, it ain't. The nigga had a triple double.
It's forced Luka down to it's forced Luka down to Gobert. What you try to do is create a narrative about something that I'm not saying, and you twist it into something else.
No, you're doing the same thing. You ain't fit. That's what got me throwing you. I'm not telling you about this truck.
Hey, you tried it though. You tried it.
I'm telling you basically, I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. You saying sell out on Luka and force him to drive. I'm saying you could do that all day. If he can drive and kick out to an open shooter, what good is selling out gonna do? Make that make sense. You said that.
You over talking me and you not listening.
Okay, I'm gonna shut up. Let me know when you finish. I ain't saying nothing else.
I said sell out to Luka. If you got a man on Luka, stop Luka on the perimeter, force him down to Rudy Gobert. I never said leave Tim Hardaway or leave Dorian Finney-Smith. I never said leave these guys. You said Willie Cauley-Stein in the game. I said you ain't got to worry about him. Force that boy down to Gobert. Willie Cauley-Stein, if you want to hang out on the perimeter, that's cool. We're going to force Luka down low. Now, you brought up this narrative about, the shooter's going to be wide open. I ain't never said leave the shooters. I said force him down to Rudy Gobert. That's what I said.
You finished?
Go ahead.
Let me see how many sentences I can get off before I get cut off. I did not say, okay, I say if you said sell out on Luka, force him to go bare. I say you could do that all day. He could kick out to somebody else and shoot. Now, name me one point guard on Utah's team that could hold Luka one-on-one. Name me any point guard in the league that could hold Luka one-on-one. I'm waiting.
Nobody can.
Exactly. So what is selling out going to do with one player? You can sell out all you want. You selling out by yourself, you dead.
You're not
if you sell out on if you force your point guard to sell out on Luka, that means you got to have help from somewhere else. Am I like? Is that right or wrong? True or false?
No, that's true what you're saying, but you still not understanding.
Okay, that's true what you're saying. I don't need no buts. You said that was true what I'm saying. That means he gonna need help from somebody else. If somebody sags in to help once Luka to drop, that means somebody's open, right?
You force him down to Gobert.
That's no question. If you force him down and somebody sags in on help defense, that means somebody's open, right? Ain't no point guard gonna stop Luka one-on-one.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't understand what you're saying. I didn't say somebody was gonna stop him. I said put one defender on him.
You saying sell out on Luka. Ain't no sell out on Luka with one-on-one is gonna get you burnt.
I'm done with that.
Hold on. What y'all are saying the same thing, but I don't think y'all understanding each other. So yes, you can't say what I said is true, but there's no but, because there is a but. So if Willie Cauley-Stein is in the game and you send Luka to the paint to meet Rudy Gobert, we letting Willie Cauley-Stein shoot the three. That's what he said. So yes, the double team will come. Yes, you will help off of it, but Willie Cauley-Stein is not a perimeter player. That's what Brandon is saying. Now, what you said, God, is yes, the help does have to come from somewhere. But what Brandon is saying is you don't leave the shooters. You leave the nigga who don't shoot alone, and you double team with Rudy Gobert on the non-shooter. So he's not saying, oh, we're going to leave these other guys alone. He said, if you have Willie Cauley-Stein in the game, I'm doubling off of him because Willie Cauley-Stein is essentially Andre Drummond. He's going to clog up the paint. So
I'm glad you brought that up.
To get you to understand.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was finna bring that point up next. You basically going against the same thing they were saying about the Lakers game. You saying don't drive if LeBron don't drive with AD at the 5 or Drummond down there at the 5. It's basically I'm saying the same thing with Luka. If I got Willie Cauley-Stein in the game, I'm not. If I'm Luka, I'm not driving to the paint. Willie Cauley-Stein don't have no jumper, so it's gonna be two extra bodies down there to paint. That's a clog up.
That's what Brandon was saying. But if you're gonna leave Luka out. The part of Luka's game that is so dangerous is his ability to attack all areas of the court. So if you cut off one area of the court by having Willie Cauley-Stein in the game, then you turn him into strictly a perimeter player, which limits his effectiveness. Because if you turn Luka into a pure jump shooter, he's not the greatest of pure jump shooters. So you limit his game. You limit the assists. You limit his ability to get into the lane and collapse the defense to kick it out to wide open shooters. So essentially, you guys are saying the same thing, but it's just a fact of who you double teaming off of, who's the next guy who's going to be there. And if it's Willie Cauley-Stein, I'm living and dying with Willie Cauley-Stein shooting 16-footers all series. And that's what he said. Y'all pretty much saying the same thing. Just
if I got Cauley-Stein in the paint, and one defender selling out to guard me, I'm calling ISO. Ain't no one point guard one-on-one gonna stop Luka in that step back. He can create his own shot, which is what separates him from a lot of other point guards in this league right now. Which is the same thing we were saying earlier. This is
my question to you though. Which one is the easiest shot? Which one is the easiest shot? Do you want Luka shooting layups all game? Or do you want him shooting a low percentage step back all game? Because when you look at his numbers, he's a 33% shooter from three-point range. He's a below average mid-range shooter as well. He makes splash plays, but the brilliance of Luka's game is really breaking down the defense and making you make that decision. So if you make him make that decision and they leave Willie Cauley-Stein, then you live with Willie Cauley-Stein making 16-footers all game. So I get what you're saying, but yeah, you can call an ISO, but Rudy Gobert is still leaving Willie Cauley-Stein all game, every day, twice on Sunday. My boy, shoot that jumper. That's essentially what happened. So
to answer to your question, do I want Luka driving, shooting layups all game or creating, trying to shoot the three? Neither. I want Luka facilitating the offense, running the offense. His spots are gonna come. His spots are gonna come when they're supposed to. If I got Cauley-Stein in there, I'm not driving to the paint because it's a whole bunch of big bodies down there, and I'm creating confusion. No,
I got you.
If you got Rudy Gobert and Cauley-Stein in the game, get Porzingis in there, stretch folk. Don't look to scope. Facilitate. That's the point of the point guard.
That's why I agree with you because
you got to pick and choose your spots where to run the offense, to take a shot, and win the pass to the open man. Everybody is on that court for a reason. Everybody has a role to play. It's not about breaking the superstar down.
We're not disagreeing with you. I agree with that.
I'm not saying we're disagreeing. I'm just asking.
I agree with that. If you got Cleveland and Porzingis in the game, that's gonna be a tough way to defend for Rudy Gobert. But you brought up you said Willie Cauley-Stein. I just wanted to go at that point. That's all I was going at.
Willie Cauley-Stein. I brought him up to say it's too many bigs down there for Gobert to guard by himself. What helped Gobert? What helped Gobert got to pay besides Favors? You think Favors gonna stop Porzingis?
All I'm saying is, if you got Cleveland and you got Porzingis out there, that's gonna be tough for Rudy Gobert to defend because he gotta respect one of them on the perimeter. I just brought up Willie Cauley-Stein because you said that's all.
I can see what Blow is saying. We were saying the same thing because I agree with you. If you got Gobert in the game and then you got Cleaver and Porzingis out, even if you have a defender selling out to guard Luka and you force him to drive, you got Cleaver, Porzingis, any one of them in there. Right. He can kick out to any one of them. They can stretch the flow.
Exactly.
That's a different ball game. Yeah. That's a whole different ball game. And And that's why
Yeah,
I'm trying to show y'all.
yeah, what I'm saying. It
Y'all
all depends on the
essentially saying
lineup.
the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah, it all
does.
depends on the lineup, and that's where the coaches come in.
Right. So we agree. We just it was just a Willie Collins sign thing. I had to go with
Thank you, Blow, for clearing that up. Thank you, Blow, for clearing that up. Because this is where a lot of debates get twisted on in the group timeline as well. A lot of us be saying the same thing, but it just be from like different perspectives.
Yeah, that's all it was. You bought up a player, and then that player got attacked. But yes, when you do flip it on the other side and you add that shooting, then it's a whole nother ball game.
Whole nother ball game.
Yeah,
that's what you want to do to Utah. You want to get that boy out the paint. Bye.
Yeah. like I was saying, as far as with the Lakers, as far as AD being at the 5, if I got one of if I got one of the premier defenders at the 5 on another team, I'm not gonna have my point guard driving to the lane, especially if I got one of my bigs in there. That's like say if I'm point guard, if I'm Luka and I got Carlos Stein and Porzingis in there along with and they're being defended by Gobert and Favors. I'm not gonna have Rudy driving to the lane because that's two defenders and 2 of my offensive players in the paint already. That's 4 other people I got to dribble or move around and see around and then locate the open player all at the same time. So if I got all them offense, those all-star defensive presence in the paint, I'm not gonna just be looking to have my point guard drive into the lane and kick out and create space all day. You gotta know. You got to facilitate, run off, got to call the right plays. You got to see what the defense is giving you and adjust accordingly.
All right, fellas. Hey, y'all. Hey, that was a hell of a debate, y'all. Hell of a debate.
Salute, bro.
Hell of a debate. Hey,
yeah. Hey, I just be talking though, huh, Shane? hey, what? You funky bitch, you. You can get this smoke too, nigga.
Yeah.
Hey.
In the land of gods, there can only be one, nigga. Check my resume.
Hey,
I would tell you to ask Max Echelon, but we don't speak to dead people. What y'all talking about, nigga?
Hey, but what I want to see, if that series happen, I just want to see Joe Ingles scoring Luka one time. Because if Joe Ingles don't do nothing, when he score on you, he talk shit. Like Joe Ingles will talk. I want to see him scoring Luka. I want to see Luka go back at him because Luka gonna talk back. But anyway, the series is not going on. It might most likely do happen, but the Utah and Dallas Mavericks series happen. Troll God, you and Will, we're gonna have to see that same energy for that series if it happens.
I'm letting you know right now. Just screenshot the podcast. If that happened, I'm picking Dallas.
I'm finna get him started now because I didn't give my opinion, but I think Memphis is gonna be win this series against Utah.
Ooh.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Hold on.
Hold
on. Explain. I need an explanation for this one.
this is what I feel, and I think somebody said it a little bit earlier when they were talking about Trae Young being the best player on the court. I think Ja Morant may be, if not, he has the potential to be the best player on the court. Donovan Mitchell might be the best player right now, but I have more confidence in Ja scoring 47 again than I have in Mike Conley going 25 and 15. That's me personally. If Mike Conley don't give you those numbers continuously, if he drops down to 15 and 8, you're talking about a 20-point swing right there. That's a 20-point swing. I have more confidence in my manager, Ja Morant, continuing to attack them because Conley can't guard him. It's going to be hard for him to put Mitchell on him because if you put Mitchell on him, then you got Mitchell playing a full game, 40 minutes, offense and defense. I just personally feel like they can put it together and they can win the series. That's just me. I'm a big Morant fan. I think he shows no fear. I think he's clutch, and I think he can lead them to win the series. I just don't know if my man can give me 25 and 15 again, or 24 and 15, whatever his numbers were. But he had 15 assists.
Yeah, I seen Trevor Ariza trying to guard Giannis on one play. He was sad, bro. Trevor Ariza, yeah, bro.
Trevor Ariza had an injury for every team he's been on. Like I said, he's been on damn near every team in the NBA.
Trevor Ariza let us down in the bubble last year. He was supposed to play. He didn't want to play.
Prime
He didn't wanna
Trevor
play.
Trevor Ariza let me down in Houston.
But yeah, Chris, I can see where you're coming from. The only my only lash at that is Donovan Mitchell. He gonna start to play more minutes as the series get deeper. He only played 25 minutes last game. He gonna be playing more minutes as he get healthier. I actually still got the Jazz winning in 6. I don't see Memphis winning that series. But that
God Memphis.
So Donovan Mitchell not starting the next game?
no,
Yeah.
he's starting. I'm just saying he only played 25 minutes last game.
Right.
But
If
his
Memphis put the
impact
foot on
was
their neck
felt. He
next
dropped
game,
25.
Oh yeah, his impact was felt in those 25 minutes, and the offense looked hella different with him in the game. That's what I'm saying. His impact was felt in 25 minutes. His minutes going to increase as the series if the series get closer. Like if it goes up like 2-2 or 3-3, his minutes going to definitely increase.
his minutes gonna be dependent on the next game. If Memphis put the foot on their neck game 3, he gonna have to go over 30 minutes game 4. They gonna fall down 3-1.
Hey, I agree. That's why I said the
right,
closer the series is, the more minutes he gonna get. That's why.
That's all will be dependent on the next game. If Memphis go up 2-1 and they got game 4 at home, expect Donovan to play 35 to 40 plus minutes game 4. But they can afford to go down 3-1.
This is my thing though. You know he's coming off the same injury LeBron had, a high ankle sprain. We don't know how he's gonna react to that with flight,
mobility,
with different things going on. Because when you get in that air, that ankle swell.
It's true.
Hey,
I got something.
Treatment.
Then you got that superstar mentality. He was already mad for being held back for game 1 due to the injury.
Yeah, he was.
So now you gotta cater to your top player on the team. You hold him back on the 11 play as much as he expects to play the next 2 games. That could be crucial coming up for his contract negotiation. He was already mad for game 1. You don't want to. I mean, you want to win the series, but you want to make sure your top player stays there next year too and comes back healthy. It's a whole bunch of intangible shit that's gonna figure into that. But either way, they can't afford to lose the next game. Not with a young, red hot, and then hungry Memphis team that's proving everybody wrong up to date.
Go ahead, Wilk. You was about to say something, Wilk.
Yeah, I'm about to dip. I gotta go to bed, but I wanted to say this. I think Chris made a great point saying that he trusts Ja Morant to put up 47 again versus Mike Conley coming and doing what he did. I agree with that because we saw what Jamal Murray did to that defense. As far as the guards last year, and to Troll Guy's point, if Utah does beat Memphis and Dallas beats the Clippers, Luka gonna destroy them guys too. But we saw Jamal Murray do it. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with that sentiment that Ja Morant really got his fingerprints all over this series right now. I don't think they have an answer defensively for him, man. We saw Jamal Murray do it just last year. And I think the most important thing is if he's continuing to hit that jumper. If he's continuing to hit that jump shot, I mean, I don't know how you defend Ja Morant, man.
All Memphis missing is a swing man. They had a top tier, a high level 3. Them boys are beat.
I like Dillon Brooks, but I think the X factor really is Jaren Jackson, and the fact that Jaren Jackson didn't play, but like the last 7 games of the regular season, I think he's still playing his way into shape too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's powerful.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Them stretch fours that can shoot the 3 and create space for your big down low. That's what
he a dog too, bro. Like Jaren Jackson,
he can hit that 3,
and he blocks shots at a high level.
Now, could you imagine a Memphis team with a Paul George at 3?
They'll be good in the regular season, then they'll fold in the playoffs. Playoff field is a thing.
Yeah, all they miss is a swing man, a 3 or a shooting forward. That's all Memphis missing.
That's Jaren Jackson, but he just not in game shape right now because he was out since last year. If you remember, he got hurt in the bubble last year, and that's what hurt Memphis from making it last year. He got hurt in the bubble. He nice, man.
Hey, we enjoyed
when he had 3, Val Venus ain't got no help in the paint. So if he had 3 shooting and he ain't hitting,
that boy gave my man a wrestling name.
That's a big Valboski, baby.
Kyle Anderson is a hell of a defender. Kyle Anderson, that's a hell of a defender.
Yeah, he is, man.
He just
That boy
I,
plays so
I, just wish,
slow.
I wish he was the most fluent. I wish he was the most fluent scorer.
Hey, he pickpocket you so clean though, like he hit it.
I'm off, fellas.
Oh yeah, hey, we about
All
to
right,
wrap
man.
it up anyway. Will
Yeah, we've been on down here 2 hours, man.
yeah, Lakers and Suns about to come on, y'all. We're gonna wrap it up. Let y'all enjoy the game. Thank you for coming on, Chris. Thank you for coming on as always, True God.
Pleasure having
We're gonna chat it up. Will, we got a lot of projects we working on, but y'all have a blessed one, fellas.
The Legend
You
Factory,
do the
man.
same.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night. See y'all Saturday.
All right.
Y'all be good.